Man, this tree's crazy, right? It's amazing. Look at that. When you think about how this tree fell, it really teaches you something. Like, it wasn't getting the right nutrients at the roots, right? So it started to get weak. There was things that came in that started to rot out the roots, and then all of a sudden it started to get weaker and weaker till it couldn't hold itself anymore and it fell. You know, our relationships can be like this too, like this tree. When we don't give the roots of our relationship the right nutrients, and we allow things to come into our relationship that start to rot out those roots, of course our relationship is not gonna stand, it's gonna fall. So if you wanna make sure your relationship doesn't fall like this tree, you have to understand the 7 areas to strengthen your relationship at the roots. And it's all about connection. There's 7 areas. They're spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, sexual, social, and financial. See, spiritually, it doesn't mean it's a religion, okay? This is something that you need to come into agreement together of, okay, what is spirituality to us? What can we do to strengthen our relationship spiritually? Maybe it's going into a walk in a beautiful place like this. Maybe it's, meditating together. Maybe it's reading something together, breathing exercises together. Whatever that you can come into agreement with that creates connection for you. Spiritual, intellectual. This is being able to communicate intelligently. Intelligence is sexy, it's attractive. When you can carry a conversation and talk about thoughts, facts, ideas, things like that, it's really healthy for your relationship. Spiritual, intellectual, now we go down to emotional. Now we go down a little bit deeper. Now we're talking about passions, fears, dreams, goals, frustrations, things that you have inside of your heart, the things that maybe make you afraid, the things that, bring anxiety to you. You're talking real emotional things. Spiritual, intellectual, emotional, now thinking of your abs like the physical part. And this is you doing something physically together. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's going for a workout. Maybe it's going for, doing something physically like gardening. Something physically together that you can both agree on that creates connection for your relationship. So we got spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical now. Oh, we got the sexual, right? This is the most intimate you can be with somebody. You are naked, right? Like, this is who I am. You can't hide anything. And there's this full acceptance that happens. And when you become one, there's a powerful bond that happens there. And a lot of those little things that usually can kind of come in and try to rot your relationship, sex will wipe that out. It's a very powerful thing. It creates connection. So we got spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, sexual. And now think of your legs like you're gonna go walk around together being social. Doing something together as a couple, as a unit, as one. You don't go to the party or you don't go to the event and then the guys go with the guys, the girls goes with the girls. You go as a couple, you lock arms and you represent, this is us, we are one. So we got spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, sexual, social, and the last one, thinking like you're gonna buy some new shoes, financial. And this is a really sensitive topic in a lot of relationships. A lot of times relationships will break, marriages will get divorced because of the financial topic, because of the stress that it brings. They don't talk about, they don't communicate where their finances are going, where they're gonna save, and they don't develop the money where they get the stress on the relationship, and it creates impatience and frustration in the relationship. So I encourage you to communicate, have a budget. Know what you're saving for, how much you're saving, what you're gonna spend on. Be clear on that and communicate so that you don't allow that to rot in your relationship, and rather you use it to create connection. So again, 7 ways that you can create connection consistently on purpose so that you don't allow your relationship to become like this tree. Now, if you wanna learn more about this, go to riseprograms.com.